Have you seen this bevy of ladies? They are beautiful, dressed nicely, and every man would want to marry them, right? Yeah. Now look behind them. Have you seen that tall lady holding a baby? Get closer. Come on, closer. Yeah, that's me. But first, hit the subscribe button and the notification as well. Okay, let's continue. Where were we? Yeah. Introductions first. My name is Yaba, and boy or girl, do I have a tale to share with you. I live in a village called Nkabom here in Ghana. My story happened when I was 25 years old. In our village, it's rare to see any lady married after she's age 22, so at age 25, I was seen as an old maid. Do you know why I wasn't married? The men avoided me because I was too tall, taller than anyone in the village.
She's too tall. I'll need a ladder to kiss her. I would feel like a child standing next to her. She might step on me by accident.
And they would all laugh. What pained me was that I am beautiful and was kind to everyone, but they all laughed at me. And no man had the courage to ask for my hand. My father, Kinosei, was very worried. He wanted to see me happy and married. One day, a young man named Kwame made a bet with his friend Kofi. The bet was, if Kwame could ask me to marry him and I said yes, Kofi would give him 5 cows. But if Kwame failed, he would give Kofi 5 cows. Kwame laughed, thinking, this will be easy cows for me. I was by the stream one day with my ladies in waiting when Kwame approached me. You can imagine my joy when he asked if I could accompany him to the baobab tree dance that night. I was so happy. But as the princess, I couldn't attend such programs unless my father agreed. I was on my way to inform my father when I overheard Kwame telling Kofi under a tree about how easy it was to get me. I was heartbroken. How could someone treat my feelings like a game? As I walked away, some village ladies gossiped about me. Did you hear? No one wants to marry the giant princess. She's beautiful, but too tall for any man, another lady said. I even heard Kwame made a bet to marry her. How shameful. Unfortunately for me, the gossip about the bet spread and everyone laughed at me. I felt lonely and frustrated. I didn't understand why my height should matter so much. My father, Kinosei, couldn't bear to see me so sad. He decided to set up a contest for all the young men in the village. The prize, 20 cows and my hand in marriage. My dad was literally buying a husband for me. How embarrassing. But the worst was yet to come. Come all you brave young men, the village gongon beater hailed. Win this contest, marry the king's daughter, and win 20 cows. The whole village was abuzz with the news. But when the day of the contest arrived, no one showed up. Literally, virtually, practically, not an ant. Oh, this one did. But you get the drift. My father and I stood alone in the courtyard, feeling disappointed and embarrassed. Why won't anyone come? I asked, tears filling my eyes. My father sighed. I don't know, my dear. I thought this would work. Not giving up, my father organized another contest. I was mortified. The day of the contest came and nearly the whole day passed with no one showing up. Just as my father was about to call it off, a young man named Kojo finally appeared. I'm here, Your Majesty, Kojo said, nervously looking around. You could imagine the joy I felt because I'd been seeing him around and he was kind and very friendly, though he'd never approached me before. I knew it was going to be a no contest and was already planning a wedding in my head. But before anything could happen, Kojo's mother stormed in and grabbed him by the ear. You foolish boy, come back home this instant. She scolded him and dragged him away. I felt my heart break. Literally, virtually, practically and completely. I ran into the woods, crying, wishing I could disappear. As I cried by a stream, I heard footsteps approaching. I looked up to see a tall man with a kind face and a camera around his neck. Hello, the man said gently. Are you okay? But I was in shock. This was the first time I had seen anyone taller than myself. I stood up and I ran away, but he kept following me. Wait, please don't be scared. My name is Obin. I'm a worldwide photographer. I mean no harm. Back in the village, everyone was curious when they saw him. My father was overjoyed, thinking Obin might be my suitor. Welcome, Obin, after he introduced himself. Are you here to marry my daughter? I said, no. But the king's chief advisor, Papa Semo, whispered in his ear, Your Majesty, we should be careful. He is a stranger. He might be up to no good. Papa Semo had a secret. He told my father years ago that he wanted to marry me, but my dad turned him down because he already had too many wives. Ever since then, he had been the one secretly sabotaging me by buying off anyone who showed interest in me. He was the one who bribed Kojo's mother to pull him away from the contest. Obey and I started talking, and he told me some shocking news. Where I come from, your height is normal. You'd fit right in. Really? I've always felt like an outsider here. Why don't you come with me? Travel the world and see for yourself. I ran to my father. Dad, do you know that I'm not tall? I'm of average height. It's everyone here who is short. Really? Yes, Daddy. Obeng told me and he wants to take me along so that I could meet tall people and experience the world. But Papa Semo didn't want me to leave. He feared losing his chance to marry me and becoming the king of the village one day. I decided to go with Obeng, but I needed to convince my father. Dad, I want to see the world. Obeng says I will fit in better there. But you belong here, my dear. Papa Semo chimed in. Your Majesty, this isn't safe. He could be deceiving her. But I was determined. Dad, I need to do this for myself. My father finally agreed. Okay, Yaba. If this is what you want, I won't stop you. As Obeng and I prepared to leave, the village gathered to say goodbye. But Papa Semo was furious, but he hid his anger behind a fake smile. Take care of her, my father said to Obeng. She means the world to me. I promise, Obeng replied, looking into my eyes. I will take care of her. We were on our way to the next village when, whoosh, a net caught us. That evening, I woke up to find myself in a shack, all alone, except for a lantern. I was lying on a mat with a plate of food by my side. I went to the door, but it was locked outside. Then I heard a shuffling sound. Obeng was tied up outside. Obeng, where are you? I heard a muffled sound and then some shuffling, and finally he shouted at me to get away from the door. He pushed the door open with his foot and grabbed me in a hug. Where are we? What's going on? I asked. Shh! Let's get out of here first. We quickly crept into the woods near the house. No sooner had we done so than two men holding torches rushed to the shack and shouted. They looked around and we swiftly ran away. I wanted to go back to my dad, but Obeng told me to continue the journey with him to prevent being captured again by whoever the kidnapper was. As we traveled together, Obeng and I grew closer. We faced many adventures, from escaping wild animals to helping villages we passed through. He proved his bravery and kindness at every turn. One night, while sitting by a campfire, Obeng looked at me and said, Yaba, I don't care about the reward or the contest. I really want to marry you. I care about you. But how can I trust you? Everyone in my village treated me like a prize or a joke. I understand. But journeying with you has made me see a side of you that I have never experienced. I fell in love with you. I fell in love with who you are, what you are, and everything about you. I'm just telling you so that you wouldn't think I love you because of any price. I finally decided to agree, and for the first time in my life, I had a boyfriend. I was so happy. After many months, we decided to return to Inkabom. The village welcomed us back with open arms. My father was happy to see me smiling again, but Papa Semo was furious. He wasn't done. He tried to turn the village against Obeng, spreading rumors that he was after my father's wealth. The gossip went around, and I overheard it. One day, I overheard Papa Semo talking to a villager. We must get rid of that Obeng. He is a threat to our village. He is lucky he escaped after we captured him, but there shouldn't be a second time. I confronted him. Why do you hate him so much, Papa Semo? And how dare you kidnap me? I'm the king's daughter. Papa Semo's eyes flashed with anger. Because he took you away and I wanted to marry you, but your father rejected me. The truth had finally come out. The villagers were shocked. My father was furious. Papa Semo, you betrayed me and you also betrayed the village. Papa Semo, his 3 wives and kids, together with all his thugs, were banished from the village and peace reigned. Obeng and I were finally free to be together. He and I got married in a beautiful ceremony under the African sun. The whole village came out to celebrate our love. You are my hero, Obeng, and you are mine. We lived happily ever after, traveling the world and showing everyone that true love sees beyond height, beyond looks, beyond anything superficial. And oh, this is my baby, and he's a giant.